Could be a trap card, though. Keep in mind, NRG are on the verge of solidifying their second place position here to have that initial buy into Worlds, and things could change around a little bit in those placement stages.
That's a good point. The meta will change during the placement stages. There's no doubt in my mind. When you play competitive Smite on LAN for a week, things are going to change. It's pretty simple. And I do think that might give an advantage to some of the placement teams that do make it through, that they actually played through that meta development instead of the teams like NRG, if they make it, or Dignitas or United, who have to sit at home and watch that happening.
I'm sure a lot of them, though, would prefer not to have to earn their battle scars on their way to Worlds in the end. But for right now, NRG, they're definitely looking to pull away with this one. And getting Chernobog as their first pick selection might be a good place to start.
Definitely a good place to start. Amaterasu's open here, and SK just needs to take it. I mean, you cannot afford to give that over to EmilZy. Athena locked in. Could be for solo lane. Ducky's played it, as you mentioned, during game 1 picks and bans. And I think you need to take Ama here. I really don't feel like you can give NRG Chernobog and Amaterasu.
It feels like that might just end up being the case here, though, aggro, because it'll be Athena and the Erlang. Both of them still relatively strong picks currently in the meta. But Serket going to be added on to the pile of heavy mobility gods at that, because Chernobog with the Living Nightmare, Serket's Last Breath, plus the Deathbane and Ambush to close the gap even further. Artio now as well, just to ensure that Erlang and Athena never get a dash off in their life.
Artio is really rising in the ranks. I mean, Aurora, I think a lot of credit goes to him and how well he's played that pick to kind of make the rest of the SPL realize just how good Artio is. And I think against Erlang and Athena, two gods that do rely on dashes, that cripple can be very, very strong. Serket also great at shutting down the healing coming from Erlang Shen's ultimate. Something to watch out for if that is going to be Erlang in the jungle, which I do expect. Is Discordia there for Lawbster? A little bit safer than the Zeus.
I also like the Discordia pick because that Golden Apple is just so effective against the Serket when she's trying to all-in you. So that might give a little bit more survivability to Lawbster that's very well needed. I was hoping that we would actually end up seeing an Amaterasu ban here from SK in the 3rd and 4th, because I don't think they're out of the woods just yet here.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that Artio, Maniac's played a lot of Artio so far this year, if my memory serves, so I think that an Ama ban was definitely well warranted. This Cupid ban, I think, is great as well. Funball's been playing a ton of Cupid. I would have loved to see SK pick Cupid instead of Discordia at that point. Yes, Discordia is very good, but that Cupid would have been so perfect against NRG's draft.
Well, this also might have just answered the reason why SK chose not to ban away that Amma. NRG being first pick, they didn't have the immediate choice selection afterwards. Might have been hoping that they got that Amma locked away, but SK gonna take their chances instead, piloting the Amaterasu through their team fight, and I do like it.
I like it too. A lot of healing now between the Artio and the Sylvanas that NRG have locked in, so SK couldn't go Odin. It's banned away first right away.
NRG are looking for kill lanes in every single lane. All of these lanes can heavily bully out that of SK, and SK, if they don't want this one to be as quick as the last, then they're definitely going to need to mind their positioning early on, and especially look to possibly even forfeit some of those early buff invades, because I am fully expecting NRG to invade with this.
Yes, I agree with you. And does chat agree that NRG's draft is looking pretty good for kills? Make sure you get your vote in right now on who is going to win this game too. I do like this Chiron selection. I think Cupid would have been better, but Chiron can cleanse that cripple, can cleanse the Serket initiation. Something to watch out for in the duo lane. And watch out for NRG, because they're running hot right now. Let's throw it over to Finch and Hindu Man for the cast.
Excellent job again there, Aggro and Taco. Going into Game 2, NRG made it look easy in Game 1, but SK have made some adjustments. They've taken the Amaterasu, the Chiron away to try and make life a little bit harder, but NRG have replaced it with very strong picks with the Sylvanas and the Chernobog.
Yeah, lane pressure in dual lane, NRG should still come out on top, honestly, with how the start's going to be. Just depends on, well, where Funballer begins, and it looks like he may actually start the red on his own to begin with. HalfDevil's trying to slow down this clear, but I don't think he's going to really stop these two whatsoever. This lane's going to be clear before HalfDevil gets 5 auto attacks off.
Oh yeah, he has no influence over how this is going to go, is how it feels at this point. That wave is done. Luckily, Lawbster came to meet up to make sure that they cleared that red buff so he won't get invaded. Funballer now on his way. But I would be surprised if they don't get this purple buff as well. They do drop it, and now they have a chance for the fight.
Well, HalfDevil is still here at half health, has a shell available for himself
too.
I
mean him. Fight HalfDevil.
Minion wave's coming in as well. The dot damage is pretty good from the autos from EmilZy. won't be enough for a kill anywhere near that. Notice what SK did in the mid lane as well. Like, Lawbster went from speed straight to red, ignored the minion wave in mid, to make sure that NRG can't strip the whole left-hand jungle, which I do like the call on.
They were absolutely right to do it. It's so much pressure they had over here on the dual lane side, and that's great recognition coming out as, what is this?
Who are those 8%?
That's a good point.
Who are those 8% that keep...
They're like the jokers of the
SK
world.
voting for themselves before they get in game? And even Lawbster's like, no, I still don't believe it.
Do you think they're... Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's more than that, though. It's way more than just them, if they're 8%.
I mean, maybe there's only, like, so many votes.
How many friends do you think that they have? You think they got some of them to come in and vote too? I get the sense that, like, Lawbster's a popular guy.
Maybe NRG votes.
NRG would do that, because I think it would be funny. HalfDevil still level 1 here in the dual lane, though. Trying to block the dash as emilZy, but can't get enough in front. But that's more than enough for them to have the clear advantage, even still, the dual lane already being firmly controlled by NRG.
Still not sure about the Chalice pickup from HalfDevil here either. It's pretty okay in the early game, but after that, you don't really need it anymore. More than anything else, I just feel like that 300 gold's semi-wasted. Yeah, sure, you're going to waste it on potions anyway, but you're going to have to sell it because you're going to want both sorts of inventory for wards, sentries, and normals. Eventually, the Chalice is kind of just 300 gold down the sinkhole.
Well, if the plan all along was to have Funballer start at red and HalfDevil had to be alone in lane for a little bit, maybe that's the idea. He knew he'd be getting poked.
Difference is, though, Chalices aren't as useful as just normal potion.
Yeah, right, just get potions. Yeah, that's fair.
You can just get flat potion because they'll heal you for more than what the Chalice will do. The Chalice will last longer, but can you keep it there? That's the question. We'll see if HalfDevil can, like, you know, weather this storm and see if it works out. I'm not a big fan of it in the support role, though.
But I do like that SK at least recognized it. We talked about Lawbster starting where he came to join up with Funballer.
Yeah.
That did mean that Yammyn was able to get a little bit of pressure in the mid lane, but it hasn't amounted to much. So really, so far, it's worked out fine.
The picks from SK, this game actually really solid. Lawbster in mid lane playing Discordia, one of the safest mid laners you can really look for, in all honesty. The other ones up there are really like, well, Sol is another one that's pretty good. Freya at the moment is solid because of what she can bring to. Sol, Freya, Nuwa are the three. So having Discordia in that list is great. Same for Chiron. And the fact they took Amaterasu away from emilZy as well is pretty solid.
emilZy doing good body blocks. Can't find the pull onto HalfDevil, who indeed will make it back out. Masterful Shot does quite a bit of damage on the back end, but NRG have been firmly pushed up all game long. We also see that Adapting and Yammyn are grouped up and moving into the jungle. They might be able to catch out Faeles.
Yeah.
I think they recognize that he's on his way. Cobra's Kiss is there, so is Thunder Crash. Tycho Drum, that's first blood for Yammyn. NRG on the board already.
That kill was really nice too. I'm not sure if Adapting got a call from Yammyn there of, oh, behind you, or his map vision is amazing because he 180'd and got that kiss off immediately. He'd already aggroed the creeps and immediately 180's blind. He definitely can't see him in the background there. That's a mini-map vision, or that was Yamin's call. It's either comms are good, or his awareness is amazing.
And I'm right there with you, because I think, based on Adapting starting up the camp and the way he positioned, I don't think he was 100% Faeles was coming from that direction. No. But it was good recognition to turn around and find it. And somehow Yammyn avoids all those bounces to avoid it. Let's actually go back and take a look, because I think we have a second here to go see that first blood one more time. It was great, just a great turnaround on the Circuit, and Yammyn's one actually gets it.
Well, watch Adapting's camera, because when you see Adapting's camera, he completely cannot see behind him there, but he's completely 180s, hits the kiss immediately the moment he showed up, and finds the kill. Nice little play from NRG, gets them on the board, and gets Yammyn, well, off to the races. Yeah,
unfortunate for Faeles as well, just coming back to the back Harpies and didn't have the information that they would be heading that direction. They've got a ward there now in between mid and into the jungle through that top part, so they'll certainly know if it happens again, but already he's been punished.
Really good situation, though, so far from SK, in my opinion. They've done a good job of weathering the first 5 minutes of this game. Kept relatively good control of their jungle, but this fight in the left-hand side could cause a couple of problems. Shell was used by HalfDevil there, so now that relic's not available if NRG get more aggressive.
And Beads coming out from Funballer as well. He'll be more vulnerable. So they got both of them. A nice win for NRG, really. Yeah.
That's worse, actually, because now Adapting can start hunting there.
He absolutely should. On the Circuit, he loves to play these aggressive junglers. And this is what I really like about NRG. When Adapting can play Mercuries and Circuits and be the guy that just kills people, that's when NRG truly gets scary. He's definitely good at doing the sometimes facilitating jungles when he has to. There was a lot of that in Season 4 and beginning of Season 5. But in right now, when you can just play a hard carry jungle, is when NRG is so scary.
Still a jungler's meta for the most part, and has been for the year. And that was the thing about, like you talk about Season 4.
Right.
Adapting didn't have the greatest season because he doesn't play that style of jungler. He's one of the aggressive ones. He likes to lead from the forefront. And sometimes you can't really do that on the Warriors or the Guardians as well as you'd want to, you know?
Right.
However, you know, Raven becoming an assassin helped him this year too in a weird way because he had to play so much Raven last year that now that he's an assassin, he's like, well, it's another one for me God pool.
HalfDevil, Defender of Olympus, is being used. I think he's going all the way over towards solo lane, and that's a good call. Ducky finds the kill onto maniaKK, overcommits a bit, trying to take down the Amma.
Amma, I think she's going to be one of the most prioritized picks and bans of the placements and the World Championships right now. I think she's in a really good spot. She's been very useful in the support role, the mobility, the sustain, and now you can see her being picked up in the solo lane and actually having an okay time, I think.
And starting with the mage is blessing as well. I'm actually a bit surprised that that's the route that Ducky chose to go, but I mean, can I complain? He just found the first kill for his team, so certainly it's working. Funballer actually losing the trade up against emilitoo and left.
He was actually baiting more than anything else because Faeles was on that rotation. The bad news is that emilitoo knew, because of all the wards energy have down that left-hand side of the map, that Faeles was on the way over. And he's still coming down looking to invade, but the wards have spotted him out all the way, and emilitoo will get his own purple safe.
Able to back away, no problem. EmilZy all the way over in solo lane. Wrath sets up for adapting to close the distance with the last breath, but a great taunt from HalfDevil gets the cripple field away from Ducky, but it still is not enough. Adapting hunts him down.
A wry mistake from NRG there, that should have been a lot cleaner than it actually was. They all ignored Ducky, expecting somebody else to land the killing blow, and it nearly escaped. That's a little bit of a worry for NRG in the long run, because you can't make those mistakes against, well, higher caliber teams. When we get to the World Championships, they make a mistake like that. That could actually cost them much more.
And I think that you're very right to say that, you know, that against a team like Dignitas, Obey Arrival, that might get punished more, as maniaKK has the cripple field to try and allow emilZy to retreat. They get away from Ducky and HalfDevil, A-OK, and should be able to farm up their own buffs. But NRG are that kind of team where even if they play a little bit less clean, I still, if we're rolling dice, NRG just, I would take them. I want NRG.
These are things in sets like this when you expect NRG to win that you look at and go, what could have NRG done better? Because every team wants to improve every time.
Yes.
And when you look back at certain fights, you're like, yeah, okay, it didn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but let's not let that happen again, you know? Someone should be going to secure that kill. At the end of the day, Yammyn had to use his ultimate to try and make sure they got the kill. Didn't need it at the end of the day because they all piled in, but ultimates being wasted in vital moments can cause a lot of problems.
And I think it's a positional commitment on the back end of that as well, right? They essentially had to chase all the way to the tier 2 tower. And that's one more thing I think we could talk a little bit more about just in general, is that it's not when you have to commit literally putting your models further ahead, and now you could have trouble getting back out in the back end. It didn't end up mattering there, but that's a lot of the times the biggest punishment when you have to chase down a kill, is that now you're, you know, further out of position.
We mentioned it in game one. That's the thing, is like you want to get objectives after the fact, but if you have to use all your ultimates and things to find a kill in the first place, sometimes you don't get the objectives after the fact, and it's just a kill when the dude's already respawned by the time you can look to do anything else.
NRG are out in front this time, nearly 2,000 gold yet again. It hasn't been quite as rough for SK as it was in game one. I believe around this mark, it was closer to 3,000 in both categories. Still, it's in NRG's favor, of course, and you're never happy about that, but not as bad as it could have been, as emilitoo's up in the air.
Only problem I do see for the composition of SK this game is that once again, Lawbster and Funballer are going to be left on their own. And emilZy is a little bit far forward here, a little bit greedy from the young tree. He was hoping for some support and gets it from Yammyn, but one little poke is all it takes to make that tree go down. Good shell from HalfDevil, not enough to keep him alive.
emilitoo used the ultimate, but he didn't actually rotate into the fight. He might have been able to make a bit of a difference, but didn't want to commit that early on. So emilZy will end up falling in a 1-for-1 trade, but support for jungle, one more time, probably NRG are okay with that.
SK win the trade, though, because left-hand side, the whole minion wave goes into the tower, too. So emilitoo loses a little bit of farm there. Funballer gets a bit more of a lead by all this, what was said and done. emilZy just too far forward. The call from NRG, whatever it was a mistake. emilZy gets caught with his pants down and gets punished.
But that's what I'm wondering. Is that it? I mean, Yammyn was right there over the wall with the ultimate. emilitoo had ulted as well. If emilZy's that far forward because they're supposed to engage, then it's a communication error. I don't know if it's on emilZy. Ducky gets the ultimate in from HalfDevil, so that will deter NRG's aggression. But it's hard to tell. That one was, I agree, not very clean.
2-for-0 on that exchange of ultimates there as well. Ducky and HalfDevil used theirs defensively to make sure Adapting couldn't find a potential kill onto the Amaterasu. But now it makes it a little bit more vulnerable because emilitoo's ult will be up a little bit earlier than HalfDevil's. And these two ultimates are going to be very important in these team fights of who gets back to the fight when and who makes the rotation where needed.
emilitoo is going to head over towards the red buff, which has already been grabbed. So far, NRG have done a good job of moving around the map, kind of controlling the pace of the game so far, and I think they're going to be able to continue to do that if they can play through emilitoo a little bit more. We might have to hold that thought, though. emilitoo in trouble. Jumps into the wall. Now it's emilZy dropping the Wrath of Terror to give him room to escape. Half HP, a good taunt brings him back in, and Funballer has the ultimate. That's enough for Faeles to finish off the tree.
Mid lane, though, they're going to go for Lawbster, who was making the rotation along with Yammyn, but Yammyn just waited around the corner and picks up the kill. emilitoo gets credit for that one, too. Love the call from SK there, by the way, too, because emilitoo dashes in the wall. They don't focus emilitoo and chase him because Adapting was waiting. They just take out emilZy again, bring him down. Don't worry about the rest of it. Lawbster just got caught in the rotation, unfortunately, to make it 1-for-1.
That is twice now, though, that emilZy has died for a more important character on the other side. The first time it was Faeles.
Yep.
Just now it's for Lawbster. So even though they are losing emilZy, he's staying ahead of HalfDevil, and he's trading his life out for carries. He's probably okay with it.
maniaKK on the right-hand side, though, could fall down here. He's very low on mana. He's going to get enough for a sustain. No one's going to come and save him. He's toasted, but just how long can he survive is the real question. That long.
He couldn't bear it. Is it what ended up happening there?
Oh, God, did you really just say that?
Yeah, just couldn't bear all
Did you say bear it because it's a bear? Did you
what
say
do you
that?
mean?
Uh-huh.
What do you mean?
Did you just mute your microphone because you giggled then on live air? Is that what happened?
They wouldn't have heard, so they don't know.
Okay.
They'll never know out there in chat.
Cool. Terrible joke, Swiffinch.
What do you mean? That was a great joke!
Surprised Adapting didn't think about the all-in there, but I'm not sure how many abilities Ducky had left, or if he did have the dash still available to avoid the extra damage, because Ducky's ult was on cooldown there, and there's definitely enough damage on Adapting to find a kill now, especially with Ducky going for magical defense over the physical defense that he's going to have to deal with to try and keep it alive against Adapting.
He's definitely going to need a little bit of help, as Adapting's been all over the map so far. 1-0-1, and he's made his presence felt. Not quite as much as Yammyn, who might be a little bit surprising. But he's been sort of at the intersection of a lot of these fights, right? Like a fight might happen, but remember they caught Lawbster rotating to the fight, or he was able to come over to solo lane and fight near the blue buff. He's sort of been right at the crossroads of where everything's happening, and he's been the beneficiary.
It always feels that SK at the moment have these games where it's like, hooray, right? So SK find a kill, and they're like, hooray, we got a kill. And the moment they say hooray, they're like, oh, somebody else died at the same time. Seems to happen every time SK make one good play and they lose something at the same time. So it ends up trading out or going negative for them every time. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way this game is for them at the moment.
A big stacking, though, around these oracles. emilZy, one more time, is the target. He gets deleted very early on. He does find Wrath of Terror, and Yammyn wants to follow up with the Taiko drum, so it's 1-for-1. Again, the support for the jungle, and emilitoo wants more.
Yeah, emilitoo going to dash all the way in, but Carp had been low on mana. Funballer gets Thunder Crushed on out of the cancel of the charge. Athena gets the ult off for the protections, gets a ton off too, but HalfDevil's going to go down in trade. Funballer's nearly dead, and Adapting is definitely there to make sure emilitoo can get the kill. Lawbster answers back, but Adapting is still at full health.
Adapting's going to dive for this one to try and set up for it. emilitoo trusting him to hit the shots, and of course he does. And Adapting makes it back out. Easy peasy, 4-for-2, because emilZy did die at the beginning of that one, favoring NRG and the Tier 1.
And look at what happened there. We were like, yay, SK found a kill. They killed emilZy. No, they lost 4 lives, but they didn't manage to pick up Yammyn too. maniaKK still has this level lead over Ducky, which wasn't there a while ago, I'll tell you that much, because of the pressure that we saw out from maniaKK in the early game. He was doing okay, but Ducky held his own, got a couple of kills early on, but the farming is definitely the way of energy.
That Tier 1 tower in mid and solo goes down, so now it's map pressure in favor of NRG. And what about the gold and experience lead to go along with that? 4,200 gold, 4,800 experience. It took a little while longer to get here, but NRG always managed to get here, it feels like, don't they? Now they're out in front of SK with the kind of leads you can actually play with at the 14, 15-minute mark.
Kind of disappointed that they may end up going straight to Worlds, though, NRG. I would have liked to have seen them at the placements. Not because I didn't think they deserved to be in the placements, just I think the action would have been a little bit more lively. Not to say it's not going to be anyway. And speaking about placements, SK Gaming, I'm excited to see how these guys do against the rest of the world.
Yes.
Because SK are lining themselves up for a matchup with Brazil at the moment, which we're still not sure on who's qualified for Brazil as it stands. Well, the one thing I do know is that Brazil could be a fun challenge for SK, and then we'll see what happens next. I think SK are still solid. I still think they could take on like the likes of LG.
I think they could do better. I mean, EU is so good from top to bottom that I think losing repeatedly to everyone in EU is not indicative of what it means. The worst team in there is Mouse, and they almost beat NRG. They very rightfully should have won that set, but NRG just pulled out some really big plays. So that's what I think is so important.
That's the story of SK, though, this year, is like there's been a lot of sets they should have won, at least games
sure.
they should have won that just fell against them. But at the moment, it's just NRG looking for picks in the jungle. Now, Ward Wars begin. It's all about Gold Furies and Pyromances at this stage.
We'll see if they can make it work. I'm surprised they haven't seen too much objective focus just yet from either of these teams to force a fight. So far, it's been about farming and finding gank opportunities as maniaKK is looking for the buff. Invade very nearly gets it, even in the 2v1, but Ducky does confirm it in the end. There's 2 members here, but one of them isn't Athena, so they don't have that big of an advantage. Oh my goodness!
Well, he's already at half health. I don't know how much more damage he took. His beads have just been consumed as well as Lawbster falls in the jungle again. This area of the map, around the red buff and SK, every single game seems to have so many issues.
Who did HalfDevil ult?
Not sure.
His ult is down.
Not sure. Maybe he misclicked.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. If it had been lined up to where he was trying to get to Lawbster, but someone was in the way, he might have accidentally went in between, but he definitely used it, it would seem, and didn't find anyone there. But Gold Fury goes down for energy, and perhaps a bit of a misplay there as well.
This is a really good ramp-up for NRG, though, for the World Championships. They're looking really good towards the end of the split. They get a bit of downtime and then get to see their opposition playing the placements for sure, and at least in the first round at the DreamHack knockout stages. Adapting, though, is having a great year so far.
Yeah.
And this is good signs for the potentially best player in the world that's been touted many, many years. I wonder if he could get his 3rd World Championship with emilitoo and Yammyn.
It's hard not to think of them as the favorites, at least for me.
Really?
I think so, man.
Over Dig?
Over Dig, even. This
Over
team is so
United?
good. I've said it already, and I think Trickstank took a little exception to it, but I still think until we see them win a LAN, it's hard for me to have faith in them to close it out.
I completely understand. From Dignitas' point of view, I completely get that.
Yeah.
The one problem you're going to have is, I'm not going to say the exact words, but poop the bed is what Cuvo, Fred, and Trickstank have done every year come Worlds.
Yeah.
Either during the qualifiers or at the World Championships themselves. They've always let themselves down, and they know that. But this year, there's less excuses. They've both finished school now. They've both been focused on the game. Maybe this is the year they go off. And if they don't, well, we just know those two are cursed.
Just for some reason, they can't quite bring it home as Ducky is in a little bit of trouble. Has maniaKK right there with him. Yammyn looking for free poke, and he certainly will get it through. Ryger doing quite a bit of damage as well. Ducky down to half HP. Now NRG can start looking at Pyro.
Just so you know, Ducky took all that damage through a Pestilence as well, so he's got magical defense already on board. And it just shows how much Yammyn is shredding through with that Obsidian Shard and the Divine Ruin and the Pen Boots too.
Wow.
Raijin dot damage. Does a lot.
2-man taunt from HalfDevil, but it's on to adapting, and emilZy pull lands onto Ducky, and that forces out the defender of Olympus very quickly. They don't find much more on the back end, but it does deter the aggression. But look at this. emilitoo's going to keep pushing until he has to rotate.
Yeah, and this Pyromancer is not really that important, whoever it goes to. SK will get it. HalfDevil leaves up a lot of poke from Yammyn, but Yammyn gets a huge up through the whole team. Lawbster's nearly dead. emilitoo and maniaKK giving chase. This is a bloodbath, Finch.
But it's fine. They're going to give up emilZy's life one more time, but for some much more valuable ones on the other side. HalfDevil has absolutely nowhere to go. They might need to come help Yammyn, who's chasing some low health targets himself. Faeles and Ducky both on the backside, but another big fight for NRG. They're looking for the turnaround damage there, the knockup. Ducky will at least get the mid lane mage, but Ducky will fall on the back end. Faeles gets decided. emilitoo finds that one, and Fire Giant has NRG's name all over it.
Yeah, definitely. 41 seconds on Ducky. His teleport is up, but he's the only one that's going to be able to get in range of this, I feel. What's the respawn times? Yeah, definitely done for Fire Giant here for NRG. Good team fight from them overall. I love what happened at the initial start of that around the Pyromancer. emilZy pulls in Ducky, but NRG just reset. They're like, all right, we pulled, Shell was used, Athena was used, and SK were forced to try and make something worthwhile by going for that Pyromancer. But after they've taken the Pyromancer, NRG are now grouped up and they've got more ultimates left over. They win the team fight after the fact and get themselves a Fire Giant.
And Yammyn finds a really nice ultimate in there as well, where he's able to kind of line it right through multiple members. That was the exact moment emilitoo selected to make his rotation over from dual lane as well. So he doesn't find the tier 1 tower, but I think they're okay with a 5-for-2 and also getting the Fire Giant on the back end of it as well. Now the map opened up for them.
Listen, at the end of the day, they're all happy as long... They don't care. If emilZy dies 10 times out of 10, that's okay by them. As long as the rest of the team goes going. It's very similar playstyle to what you see from the likes of Jeff Hindler. He'll die for his team if he has to. And emilZy's kind of in that role at the moment in this comp. And most of the comps that NRG will put together, in all honesty, will be around... Well, they can sacrifice the support if they need to win the game. And everyone will do that every time.
That's right. If he had an ability where he could kill himself to kill one of the carries, he'd use that every time. emilZy's happy to do it. Yeah, would you play that god like as an ultimate?
Capriel, I'm down.
He kills
I
you
click on one of them like a Nemesis ult, you know, like a Capri revive.
Right.
But he just kills him. I die too. I'll take that every time.
That's a good
every time.
Maybe you can't use it if you're certain low. Why are we talking about potential God design? We'll instead focus here on the game. Full cooldown. Why not, right? You don't even need to be that tanky. Because all you do is just throwing yourself away.
You sit in base all day and kill yourself on cooldown.
I wonder what the range is. That had to be important as the tier 2 tower goes down pretty easily.
I want to buy items.
On left-hand side. emilZy finds the knock-up. Lawbster could be in trouble as emilitoo has rotated in as well. Defender of Olympus is canceled out because he died so early on. That's likely what happened last time, as now they're going to cut off Funballer.
So why are the carries of SK Gaming both in the mid lane and the tanks and the sustain and the protection of SK Gaming are not?
They're too far forward, absolutely.
I'm supposed to be a chair too and analysing why, but that's the question I'm asking. This is one of the issues that SK have had all year. Protect your carries. Protect your carries. If you don't protect them, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to lose Phoenixes.
Well, they certainly are going to lose the Phoenix. They might even lose more than that. Lawbster will be back up in a little over 10 seconds, so we'll certainly be here for the defense. But NRG going to move right over to left-hand side. They've got Sylvanas sustain, the Fire Giant sustain, ticking, and plenty of damage from emilitoo to burn through the structure as HalfDevil gets caught by the last breath.
Wow, they went all in the HalfDevil. Look at the burst damage. That was a tank. Ducky's going to get out. Faeles is tanking up the best he can, but he won't get his heal off in time. And even if he did, I don't think it'll keep him alive. Lawbster and Ducky being run back to the fountain once more. Kisses from adapting, not the type you like. Ducky, though, will survive. The Phoenix, though, different story.
What are the type you like?
Huh? The ones that don't try and kill you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of kisses you want from adapting?
I mean, from anybody.
Oh, sure.
I'm okay with kisses.
Okay. I don't want to kiss. I'm
really?
saying that here.
Why
now.
not?
I don't. Well, not from you or adapting.
I mean, not from Circuit. That's the
well, certainly not from Circuit. As the Cobra's kiss is able to find a huge fight for NRG. And you're right. They all in HalfDevil to start the fight, but they're correct. It's a level 14 Athena, and Yammyn has 3 pen items. Delete that guy.
And you think about the pen, you mean you've got Adapting's ultimate doing true damage to him anyway, on top of how much penetration Yammyn had. Easy kill, easy life. Not exactly how NRG would say it, but close enough.
And it ends up working out for them. They grab both Phoenixes, and it comes back one more time to Funballer and Lawbster being in no man's land. They were in the demilitarized zone if we're on the Korean Peninsula right now. There's no need for them to be where they were, and they died very cleanly. NRG don't have to commit anything to set up those kills aside from, I believe, emilitoo's ultimate. And without them, it was a very easy Phoenix Siege.
And this is the last game we're going to get to see NRG by the looks of it, until the World Championships.
That's right. This is it for them, isn't it?
This is their final game of the split. They're going to go straight to Worlds if they can 2-0 here.
And you know what? Studying this film, I don't think you learned much about NRG from this, right? Like, let's say you go back and like, well, let's watch their most recent game, try and get prepped for them. This is scary.
Well, that's the fun thing about the end of the split. NRG have done a good job this year of getting themselves in a spot where they don't have to show anything in the last game too much.
Yeah.
They've played stuff that they played all year long, nothing too crazy. Maybe showed the mobility and the healing comp a little bit in that game one, but nothing that's going to like...
They played sustain both games,
immediately go hard. This is where NRG's weakness is, you know. There's nothing that's given it away here. They've not had to do anything out of the ordinary. This has just been a very good fall split from NRG, and they deserve to go to the World Championships in the top 2 spots.
And the placement stage is it's a bloodbath this year. I'm so personally excited for it, and I think avoiding it means so much. You can't overstate how nice it is to get to go right to DreamHack. Plus, you'll have better seating when you get there anyway, and you won't have had to go through all that slugfest and shown what you think is strong right now. It's such a big advantage that NRG are earning for themselves right here.
Definitely. 8 SPL teams will go to the placement stage. Every SGS region goes to the placement stage. Then the top minor league team from NA and EU will also go to the placement stage. And you've got to get through all of them. There's only 4 spots available out of all those teams.
Really only 4? That's not enough.
I know.
Oh, man. It's
well, the
so
top
excited.
2 of EU and NA go straight there. So
That's
there's only 4
right,
spots left at DreamHack.
It's insane just how many good teams are possibly not going to be able to make it as NRG grab this Fire Giant uncontested. And I think rightfully so. SK have no right to be here, and so instead they'll defend their base instead. Remember, the mid and the left Phoenix are already down. The right Phoenix has not yet been touched, I don't believe, so they should have to work from 0 on that one. But what can SK really do to defend? I imagine it'll take a big strife from Lawbster, a dream type scenario.
This is a commit from SK. SK should just be fighting this immediately. As soon as they get the front line, just try and all in commit and see what happens. There's no other way back into this one. The mistakes.
Right.
It's going to be too difficult to make. The Phoenix down and left and middle are going to cause problems. Go for a fight. force a fight. HalfDevil needs to go in and taunt, looking for the carries.
Yeah, don't allow this exact thing that's happening.
pulled.
The safe poke coming out from Yammyn. Taunt comes out from HalfDevil, doesn't find much. He's half HP and has to fall back. Up into the air goes emilitoo. He wants to dive in. This is the all-in commit from NRG. Now he's created the space for the right side Phoenix, and no real way for SK to defend.
Here we go. Jumping from Faeles, taunt onto Yammyn. Yammyn beads and turns round, and the drums come to play, baby. Not enough for a kill just yet. Faeles alive with 1 health, but Adapting says no. emilitoo
in
got
the
in the wall!
emilitoo makes it to the wall. He makes it out. Now Adapting. He can't even decide between HalfDevil and Ducky. Thundercrash comes over to help out. EmilZy will end up falling divine now for Adapting on the Circuit. The remaining members of NRG can regroup.
Yeah, left-hand Phoenix going to go down at the same time. Fire Giant regen's going to come into play. Someone's going to go back and defend the Titan, and if they do, it leaves the carries alone. Lawbster disappears, but he does take Emil down with him.
That's very important to be able to try and remove that damage, but this is the only Phoenix back up. That does mean emilitoo's value, well, it would have decreased anyway. They lock down Funballer. Adapting finds him. Titan already at half health from the Fire Giant, and Yammyn has absolutely enough damage to get this done. Only HalfDevil to try and find a win to keep SK Gaming's hopes alive, but it's not enough. NRG grab the set 2-0 over SK.
And they take themselves directly to DreamHack.
Poor Obey.
Congratulations to NRG already. So even if Obey do well today in the next couple of days, it don't matter, they're still going to be in the placements.
That's right. NRG able to secure their spot here. A big win for them, and SK couldn't quite get it done. NRG did it, I would say, clinically in both those games. Game 1 in particular, they got off to an amazing start, and SK never had a chance. This one took maybe like 5 or 6 minutes longer, but they were able to get it done as well.
Yeah, and that was comp-based, and I like what SK did. And honestly, there's a lot of stuff that SK have done this year that has been good, but not good enough.
Yes.
It's been the biggest story of the year for them.
I think placements mean a lot for SK. I'm very excited to see them play there. A chance to show that maybe if they're not playing literally dig rival NRG Obey every week, they could look a lot better.
And that's one way of looking at it. The other way is, God, if they do badly there too,
could be rough, yes.
Ooh, I don't want to think about that.
Well, hopefully SK can show us some of what they've been working on all year long. But let's get it back over to the desk to analyze the game we just saw.
Well, the good news for SK is that placements, they wanted to play NRG again, because NRG is going DreamHack Atlanta. SK, as we knew, coming to the placement rounds. And Taco, is this a set that you can go in for SK after this and feel like they still have a chance to make some noise at placements?
Possibly. I think that considering there's going to be a varying level of competition throughout placement round, that SK could be a little bit more prepared for than the actual Pro League for Europe. I just feel like the level of competition right now in Europe has clearly surpassed the SK's potential, and so I think for right now, placement rounds are pretty much the only last shot that SK really have going for them.
Well, it's Adapting with MVP again in game number 2. He had it in game 1 in this Circuit pick. I don't know if it was you who said it, Taco, or someone else, but when Adapting plays like this, NRG looks nearly impossible to beat, and Adapting played like that today. It's pretty much that simple at times. When Adapting can do the things that he was doing here, it is nearly impossible to stop.
I also was a huge fan of the Artio Circuit combination, especially because Cripplefield guarantees that the Deathbane is going to connect with or without the Cobra's Kiss, and that was usually all it took to force SK back. And even when they tried to challenge, Adapting was just all over Funballer, all over Lawbster, not really even giving them any room to think, much less breathe on the map.
NRG looked dominant up against SK. That means they are going to DreamHack Atlanta, so congratulations to them. The top 2 seeds in Europe are Dignitas and NRG, but Dig has to try and defend first seed later on against Obey, but up next is going to be Rival versus Mouse. A big game, not for qualifying in the top 2, but for seeding and for just momentum and confidence going into those placement rounds. We'll take a quick break and be right back with set number 2.